This one could get ugly.
Hi everybody, welcome back to Fourth Place Sports Bar. Scott Taylor and Mike Davidson. It's time now to talk about the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Oh my goodness. I don't think anybody thought that the Blue Bombers would go into BC and win the football game. But this was a team that got manhandled by a team that I didn't think played particularly well. Final score, 33-16. Buck Pierce goes down with a knee injury. Looks like he's going to be able to play against Montreal. He practiced yesterday. However, having said all of that, I didn't think they were very good.
No.
What say you?
I said this one's going to get ugly, and I said a couple segments ago I'm not an expert. I've never played football, so everything I say...
Yeah, but you are. You're a sportscaster, so you're as good as any other sportscaster
Let's defer to Joe Mack's judgment, and now I'm going to rip that apart. This is a team that isn't very good, and for some reason they went to the Grey Cup game, and Joe Mack said, we got to rebuild. But he didn't say we got to rebuild because the team was old and it was all falling off. It was because nobody wanted to sign with the guy. Jonathan Hefney went out and called him cheap on Twitter after he let Greg Carr go to Edmonton. You don't want your players saying you're cheap. This is a team going into a brand new stadium.
Don't you find it's interesting? The media in town all thought that Jonathan Hefney and maybe Javon Johnson would be released, but they didn't release them. They released other guys.
Oh man,
who wanted to be here.
Dorian Smith, a Canadian defensive lineman who can play. Okay, he didn't play great in camp. Obviously, they release him, but you let him get a couple games under his belt and you trade him because Canadian defensive linemen have value on other teams. But you know what? Joe Mack knows more, and Paul LaPolice knows more. The guy is supposed to be an offensive coach, and the offense on this team is dreadful, and that two people have to own that problem. Don't say offensive line, brand new. Buck Pierce isn't a very good starting quarterback. Alex Brink should be the starting quarterback.
I agree with
and Paul LaPolice is a bad coach. Because how many more coordinators do they have to go through?
Yeah, but wait a minute. The media will tell you, the mainstream media will tell you, that Paul LaPolice went to the Grey Cup last year.
Because he's a nice guy. And yes, he did go to the Grey Cup last year, but how many games did the defense win? Tim Burke should be the head coach of this team, because we're going to lose him to a U.S. system next year, because he's not going to stay here and be a defensive coordinator in the CFL for defensive coordinator money when he's probably the best head coach in waiting. So what they should have done is say, hey, Saskatchewan, you like Paul LaPolice, and we like Paul LaPolice there so we can win the Labor Day Classic and the Banjo Bowl. We're promoting Tim Burke. Here's your exclusive window to hire our head coach, and we won't even go after compensation. They should have done that, and then they could have said, we didn't mean to lose Paul LaPolice. Saskatchewan wanted him more, and he wanted to go there, and everyone gets to save face. Oh, no, no, no. They don't want to do that because they think Paul LaPolice can get the job done. This team loses because their offense sucks. Their offense sucks. Their defense is competitive. That's why they're in the games. That's why they won those games last year. They're a 4-14 team 2 years ago with a great defensive coordinator who took them to the Grey Cup. And this year they could be 4-14 again with that great defensive coordinator who's going to ride out at the end of the season because it's a poorly run franchise.
And on that note, we're going to come back and talk about the rest of the Canadian Football League. It was an interesting first week. The Western teams win 4, the Eastern teams win nothing. And we're going to talk about that coming back on Fourth Place Sports Bar, 360Winnipeg.ca, Kern Hill Furniture, Salisbury House, everybody's Major Misconduct. I'm Scott, he's Mike, we'll be back.